She thought walking away would end the pain, that leaving him meant freedom. But in the silence that followed, she began to hear the echoes of everything she'd lost. The laughter that once filled her home, now just memories fading into darkness. Every corner whispered his name. Every heartbeat carried the weight of what was gone. This isn't a story about heartbreak. It's about what happens when the love ends, but the feelings don't. She thought signing those papers would set her free, but freedom felt nothing like she imagined. It felt heavy, like carrying silence in both hands. The house, once filled with laughter, now echoed with the sound of her own footsteps. Every corner held a memory she wasn't ready to face. She tried to convince herself she was fine. She posted smiles online and laughed with friends, but deep down, something felt missing. At night, she would sit beside the bed, staring at the empty side that once belonged to him. The silence spoke louder than any fight they ever had. Days passed, but her heart stayed in yesterday. She missed the small things, the morning coffee, the shared glances, the comfort of belonging. One day, she found his sweater in the closet. She held it close, and for a moment, it felt like he was still there. But memories fade faster than scent. She started questioning everything: love, promises, even herself. But pain has a way of teaching what comfort hides. Weeks turned into months, and slowly she began to see herself again. Not the version he loved, but the one she had forgotten. Healing wasn't loud or dramatic. It was small things: watering plants, walking alone, listening to her own breath again. She began journaling her feelings, realizing that she didn't lose love, she just outgrew the version of herself who needed someone else to define it. Sometimes she still missed him, but missing didn't hurt anymore. It just reminded her that she once cared deeply. One morning, she woke up and didn't feel the ache. She realized she hadn't thought of him for days. That's when she knew she was healing. Her life became quiet, but not empty. It became full of moments she'd always ignored: birds, coffee, her own laughter. She met new people, not searching for love, but for connection. She learned that peace doesn't come from holding on, it comes from letting go. There were still nights when tears came, but this time they weren't from pain. They were from gratitude for how far she had come. One evening, she returned to the place they first met. The memories no longer hurt. They simply reminded her how much she had grown. She whispered to herself, "I forgive you." And in that moment, she finally forgave herself too. Divorce didn't break her. It revealed her strength. It showed her that endings can be beginnings too. And as she walked away from her past, she carried nothing but peace. For the first time, she wasn't looking back. Because sometimes what she really feels after divorce isn't sadness at all. It's freedom, rediscovered. She stood at the edge of the same bridge where her life once felt broken, the same place she had cried months ago, but tonight she didn't cry. The wind brushed through her hair, and for the first time, she smiled. Not because everything was perfect, but because she finally understood. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means forgiving yourself for holding on too long. The city lights shimmered behind her, soft rain falling as she looked toward the horizon, a quiet peace in her eyes. She took a deep breath, whispered a goodbye to the past, and walked forward into the faint morning light. Her story didn't end with loss, it began with acceptance.